Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. The latest GOP proposal to repeal and replace Obamacare is all but dead in the water. Another Republican senator announced she won't back the bill, making it impossible to pass in its current form. CBS's Weijia Zhang has the latest from Capitol Hill, where protesters disrupted a hearing this afternoon.
If you want a hearing, you better shut up.
Protesters delayed the start of the only Senate Finance Committee hearing on the latest Republican repeal and replace effort. It was a dramatic scene as police carried out some of the disabled protesters pleading for Congress to keep Medicaid.
We just want them to kill the bill.
The Graham-Cassidy bill would end both the Medicaid expansion under Obamacare and subsidies for consumers. It would instead direct that money to the states to use on health care. Senators Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy defended their 146-page bill before the panel.
Governors are excited about it. They see this as the ability to implement change that is tailored for their state.
If you don't like the health care you got, you can complain to somebody you vote for.
The GOP has until Saturday to rally enough Republican support for a simple 51 majority vote, but it's not looking promising.
Late Monday afternoon, Senator Susan Collins of Maine announced she's out.
This bill would actually cause premiums in the individual markets to rise in some states.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul won't support it either, but did suggest areas for compromise.
Health savings accounts, governor's waivers, put some caps on entitlements that Republicans can agree to, and then let people buy insurance across state lines through health associations.
Republican leaders were set to meet with the rank and file Tuesday before making any decisions about moving forward. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A preliminary analysis from the Congressional Budget Office finds the Graham-Cassidy bill would reduce the number of insured Americans by millions. Well, Billings City Council's recent decision to keep the ban on pigs as pets within city limits now has a couple forced to move. Hamlet, an 8-year-old potbelly pig, has lived with Elizabeth Roger as a therapy animal. The city sent 2 notices to Rogers on Friday and Saturday requiring the pig be removed in 7 days. On top of that, the property management has given her a 30-day notice to leave. Rogers says Hamlet has helped her with anxiety and is a certified therapy animal.
Not an option to just get rid of him at this point. He's never known any other life. I think for the most part, the people that are really invested and dedicated to having pigs as members of their family are invested in their health and well-being and are sure to care for them accordingly.
It's not known how many notices Animal Control has issued since the decision earlier in September. Q2 has reached out to Animal Control for comment. One Big Sky Center project proposed for downtown Billings should evolve and get bigger. That's according to the lead developer. Tonight, Hamlet's company provided city council members an update to the market analysis it's working to complete. While there continues to be interest for the project, a concern is the level of rent costs, a level that Hamlet says does not support new buildings. Despite interest and letters of intent from companies hoping to occupy the space, Hamlet says a transformative anchor is needed to make the project successful. The company will present its updated development plan to the city in November. A stabbing in downtown Billings sends one man to the hospital and another to jail tonight. Billings police and emergency responders were called to 505 North 24th Street around 7:45 this evening. That's near the Tumbleweed building in downtown Billings. Police say 2 men, both in their 20s, started arguing when one apparently stabbed the other in the arm. The stabber fled the scene but was found and detained within minutes with help from several witnesses. Authorities say the victim lost a lot of blood but is expected to recover. Parents of a Billings student athlete suspended from playing 5 games now want $250,000 in damages. The West High student was suspended from playing after he attended a house party where alcohol was served. But the boy's parents called the suspension racial discrimination. Q2's Asia Goa read through the complaint recently filed against School District 2 to bring us those details. Asia.
Jeanelle, the student told his assistant principal in January he did attend the party, but he says he left when he learned alcohol was involved. According to the complaint filed in U.S. District Court in Billings, this boy was not the only student athlete at the party, but he was the only one suspended. After this house party, the teen was interviewed by the assistant principal, who claimed there was photographic evidence of the boy at the house party. Now, the teen denied consuming alcohol and said he left immediately, but the student athlete was suspended from playing in 5 games anyways. Now, the teen's parents are suing, alleging their son was not informed he could have a parent present in his interview and not told he could present evidence of his own. But above all, the family alleges racial discrimination. Representatives for the school have yet to respond to the complaint. Jeanelle?
All right, thanks so much, Asia. A second day of protests on the gridiron. The Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys faced off for Monday Night Football as the controversy over kneeling continues. Kenneth Craig has the latest.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones locked arms with his players and kneeled before the national anthem started, then stood as the Star-Spangled Banner played. The Arizona Cardinals also stood, their arms linked in unity. It was an encore to Sunday's games when about 200 players, coaches, and several owners across the country took a knee, sat, or locked arms, including Tom Brady. The Super Bowl MVP and friend of President Trump told a radio show,
I certainly disagree with, what he said and thought it was just divisive.
The protests followed the president's comments Friday during a rally in Alabama.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now?
Afterward, the president fired off a series of tweets suggesting fans boycott the NFL and players be fired for not standing. He insisted his comments weren't about race, but about respect for the flag. Former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick started the kneeling last year alone, protesting police brutality and racial inequality. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said he was proud of the league's response. Other players and sports leagues waded into the controversy, including NBA superstar LeBron James, who slammed the president.
Because the people run this country, not one individual, and damn sure not him.
While the NFL said it would not discipline players who refused to stand, some NASCAR owners threatened to fire anyone who does. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
And the only Pittsburgh Steeler who stood for the anthem was Alejandro Villanueva. His jerseys are leading the NFL in sales. Well, turning to weather, Bob McGuire is back in studio this week. And Bob, it looks like Hurricane Maria is still causing some trouble out there.
Yeah, when you think about the hurricanes, we had Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma. They really inundated the Gulf of Mexico. Now we have Hurricane Maria. This one is giving a break to the Gulf of Mexico, but it's still causing some issues across the outer banks of the Carolinas. As you can see, the storm is getting close to Hatteras, Cape Hatteras, that is. And you'll notice it does produce some scattered rain showers. The rain and probably the storm surge is going to continue to make its way into that region. But the forecast shows that the storm is forecast to go a little bit farther north and back out to sea and not into our area. So we'll probably see here in Billings not much in the way of rainfall, but we might see a couple of sprinkles in Miles City. We'll have more about what caused that in a few more minutes, Jeanelle.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, students and staff at MSU Billings find an interesting way to talk sex health education. Tonight, students gathered at Petro Hall for a condom fashion show. Now, all designs from a number of campus groups were made from condoms, an effort to craft a message of positive sex health. The event isn't a new idea, but one that is a first for the Billings campus and organizers. They say it's a great way to start the conversation.
This kind of event really puts a fun twist on it, low pressure environment that just opens the floor to have these conversations about sex and relationships and getting consent before engaging in sexual activity. So while this can be considered really out there type of event, I think putting a fun twist on it like this really opens a lot of doors to have healthy conversations.
And fashion show judges handed out awards for most safe and sexy, and of course, People's Choice. Up next on your Q2 10 o'clock news, the chance for your local school to take the top spot is just a click away. We'll show you how. Plus, later, is one of your favorite books banned? Check out how you can dig it out next. And in sports tonight, Scott has Q2's latest edition of Game Changers. Wait till you see number 1.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.